Okay. All right, Pierce, you are live on the air. Go ahead with your question.
Hello, William. Hello, Rabbi. Thank you so much again.
Certainly.
All right. The question is, in Matthew 16, as an example, Jesus tells his disciples, he asks them, who do you think I am? Nobody knows. Peter gets you the Christ. So he says he's going to have to suffer many things. But the key is, he says, who do you think I am? Just so we could set up Matthew 16. And this is a really important chapter for many reasons, which we're not going into. But for the one that you are, Jesus asks, who do you think I am? Well, when is he saying this? He's saying at the end of his ministry. I mean, the crucifixion's coming up next. Okay. But just so you know, it's not like he just popped on the scene. Who do you think I am? I don't know. No, this could convey to us very clearly that Jesus was not really going around saying, I'm the Messiah. The historical Jesus, I can't say certainly, but almost certainly in Jewish tradition, he did not claim to be the Messiah. And that's a claim that would be made for him later on. Okay. And you could see that pulling through in Mark, like nobody knows who he is. And that's the big mystery of the first 8 chapters. It's only in chapter 8 that we feel, why is that there? Now, it's very interesting. So you're right. So in Matthew 16, Peter says, you are the Christ, you're the Mashiach, And so Jesus replies to him, flesh and blood couldn't reveal this to you, which means that no one could have told you that, okay? Like, so if you thought I said that Jesus, the historical Jesus, never claimed to be the Messiah, I can't know, but I kind of know, because this comes up in New Testament, because in the Christian Bible, they're obviously writing it in a way, trying to explain to the readers. Again, the Gospels are written like a half a century after Jesus' life, okay? So if Jesus died in 30, like Matthew and Luke, as an example, are written in the 80s, right? So it took like half a century later. So people are asking the question, I am sure, like, but this guy wasn't going around saying I'm the Messiah. Why are you saying now that he's the Messiah? So they'd say it was a big secret. You got it? That's why these texts are there. So you have to understand, these texts are inserted into the story as an apologetic to address the question of people who are contemporaneous. Wait, you're saying this guy who's whatever he was, who got in trouble with the empire, this guy was the Messiah, but I never heard anybody say he was the Messiah. So how would you address that? The early Christians would have to come up with, oh, it was a secret. Now you go, well, why would someone buy that? So in the ancient world, the idea of the occult, the secret, the thing that is hidden, the mystery religion, the Gnostic beliefs, all that involved a secret that people didn't know, a mystery. And Paul is going to tell us over and over again that he's here through his own personal revelation to tell you the secret, to unravel the mystery that only he has access to, okay? So whereas today, if someone said to you, you're a 21st century person, if you want to understand literature from the first century, you have to divorce yourself from the modern age that we live in, where information is accessible everywhere. Moreover, we understand stuff. We understand why there are earthquakes. We know exactly what tectonic plates are. We get it. We know microbiology. I mean, we're not experts, but we get it. We get, where mental illness comes from. We know DNA. They had no clue in the ancient world. They didn't know why people were alive and vigorous today, and 2 days later they were dead, and no one knew why. They didn't know. They didn't know what lightning was. They saw a bolt of lightning, and they thought the gods were throwing down spears. They all thought that. They all thought that lightning was, in the ancient world, what do they think? You see a bolt of lightning come down and hit Earth, right? What do they think? That the gods are they're angry. Gods are angry and they're throwing spears. And they were absolutely clueless. They had no idea. So why am I going through this? That in the ancient world, the idea that there's this mystery and we need to know the answer to the hidden mystery was part of the zeitgeist. is their Weltanschauung, is their worldview. It's very important to understand. To get history, you have to step out of your world where we have all the information you want. You go on ChatGPT, ask anything you want to, and bingo, whatever. They didn't know anything then. They didn't know anything. So therefore, I'm sure that the people were saying that when they said that Jesus being the Messiah was a mystery that no one knew, that would have made sense in the ancient world. Even though in TaNaCh, it's not compatible. You see, in TaNaCh, everybody knows it. The knowledge of God fills the world as the water covers the sea. So none of this is in TaNaCh. This idea of mysteries no, the secret things belong to the Lord, but that which has been revealed belongs to us and our children forever, that we keep all the words of this Torah. It's the last passage of Deuteronomy 29. No, God is one. He's only one. He's one alone. There's nothing else. It's all simple, guys. Yeah, there are things that I can't explain to you, but you don't need to know about that. You just need to know to walk through to the Lord, to love him and have a personal relation, be loyal to him. That's what you need to know. Everything you need to know is there. There's none. But in the ancient world, there was mysteries of the gods and so on. Let's get back here. So when Peter responds, "You are the Christ," right? The response is, "Flesh and blood didn't reveal this to you." Translation, no one could have told you that. Well, that's really important, because what that means literally is, that means that was a secret. It means you did not receive that from man. Now you're asking me about John 1:41. It doesn't matter, because John 1:41 is a different book, and they don't agree with each other. They just don't. Stop thinking. There is a question among Christian scholars if whoever wrote the book of John read the Synoptic Gospels. This is a big question. It's out there. I think, bear in mind that about 90% of the fourth gospel appears nowhere in the Synoptic Gospels. I mean, John is not just different, it's really different. Now, of course, there's the Passion narrative, which is more similar, but you have the farewell discourse that goes on for 5 years. Just all this, John, 90% of John is not in the Synoptic Gospels, okay? It's a really different book. In the church, it often was regarded as everyone's favorite book because they thought it was very spiritual and certainly presented the highest Christology in the prologue, in the first 18 passages of the John chapter 1. There is some consensus among scholars. I don't like to appeal to that, but I don't think John was written by less than 3 authors, probably by 5. I can't prove it, but it's unlikely for many, many reasons. But doesn't matter. They don't agree with they don't care. So what? So Luke chapter 1, verse 6 says that Mary and Elizabeth, the supposed parents of John the Baptist, never sinned. Okay? Please look it up for yourself. Luke 1:6 says that Elizabeth, so they were cousins of Mary, so it's all in the family there. That Elizabeth, they were totally sinless. They blamelessly kept all of God's commandments, everything. They did everything right. If you know anything, you know that in Christian theology, that's impossible. They don't care. It's just whatever in that pericope, whatever the author wants you to know, there it is. One other point I might as well point out, in the ancient world, people didn't have access to books. They really didn't have access to books, generally with scrolls, but like to get a book in the ancient world, someone had to write it by hand. That's what manuscript literally means. So this is why there's not going to be a lot of pushback, is because it's written in a language people generally didn't understand. I mean, that's why the reformers, even going to John Wycliffe, felt that it was really important to translate the Bible into a vernacular people actually spoke. Wycliffe, publishes his Middle English translation of the Bible at the end of the 14th century. He's really the founder of the Reformation. But people like, how did you even get a book? So the New Testament doesn't agree with itself. It doesn't matter. You're right. It's like, why didn't John the Baptist know who the heck Jesus was? It doesn't make sense. On one hand, John the Baptist, when he's baptizing Jesus, is saying that I'm not worthy to tie his sandals, but later on from prison, he's going, who is he? Well, I would, just so you know, you can ask a Christian these questions, you can, but these are very important questions, but the truth is, you have to dispense with the notion, you have to get rid of the idea, you have to jettison the notion that the Gospels are univocal. They're totally, highly variegated, and whatever the author felt like putting in there to get the message along was inserted. So if you wanted John the Baptist's parents to appear to be saints, then you wrote that there. Paul was saying everyone's a sinner. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter. These books are not univocal. Theologically, I'm not talking contradicting in terms of like, the stories contradict each other. Forget that. They have a different type of message on a fundamental level. Anyways, thank you so much for your thoughtful question.
Guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, go to Rabbi Singer's channel as well, and also don't forget his 2-volume book set, Let's Get Biblicals, Volume 1 and 2. The audio files are available, but the CDs are not, but they're available on his website.
The MP3. Let me say,
Yeah.
I want to just one other thing for you guys. Listen carefully. No attention to that man. No, listen to me. It's so important. If you believe in the work that William is doing, that we're doing here, whenever you watch any of our videos, please like it and please share it. It's very important because it really affects the algorithm so that our videos are spread around. So really, it's very, very important that whenever you see a video of William, a video of mine, it's very important to like it. I hope we like it.
Yeah.
But if you do, don't just pass it. Just make sure you like it and make sure that you subscribe to channels because it really has a very big impact on spreading Torah throughout the world. It's very, very important. You should really go through our videos and make sure that those videos that you haven't liked yet, you do like them. It really has a very, very big impact on spreading this message. Anyway, shalom.
Yeah. And commenting on them also helps generate views as well, so it kind of refreshes them on the system. So, Rabbi, thank you. Great show, and we'll see you, Hashem willing, same time, same place next week. Shalom, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
If you enjoy this channel and the content, and it has changed your life, or perhaps the life of a loved one or a close friend, would you please consider supporting this work? You can click this link and it'll take you directly to my website with the donate button. Or there's a Patreon link and a mailing address for snail mail if you would prefer. If you do donate, please do me a favor and leave me a phone number where I can contact you and thank you properly. I hope you all have a wonderful 2025. Shalom.